All right, boys and girls, I have asked you guys for our summer to make an interactive notebook. Cover-wise, you can make your own cover. I found this online and kind of copied and pasted it, made my own cover. So this is what it's going to look like at the end. And it's going to have roots, prefixes, and suffixes. And I'm going to show you how to make it because I did send you all the copies. And you have to make sure you follow the directions exactly as they say so that it comes out correctly and that you have all the pages that you're going to need, okay? So first thing we're going to do is make sure that you read the directions that I sent you, because I did send you all the directions, okay? And if you look at the directions, it says number your pages. So you're going to take out your new notebook, which I do have a new notebook, which is not really new. I'm recycling an old notebook. And you're going to number them. And it says right there, take your brand new notebook and count off 3 sheets of paper, starting with the first sheet. So 1, 2, 3. Now on this 4th sheet, you're going to write a number 1 on the top right corner. Now I take out my pencil and I'm going to start 1. Then I'm going to flip the page, 2, and keep on going. And you're only writing the numbers in that little corner, 4, and we're going to count all the way to 65, okay? 5, 6, 7, I'm doing this with you, so you guys know, okay? 8, 9, 10, and I suggest using pencils because we are going to be using these pages, and you don't want anything with marker to actually seep through. So make sure you're using pencils, and try not to skip any pages. If you do, just go, make sure that you go back and you count it and you're on the right page. 15. And they don't have to be perfect numbers as long as you can read them, because you will be using these and you will be covering those numbers with your pages later on. Remember, it's yours and it's for the summer. And for those of you who get to have Miss Feldman next year, you're going to notice how handy this is going to be, because she does use same vocabulary. Probably not in the same way, but she uses the same vocabulary. And you'll be able to be ahead of the game for 4th grade. And that's why we're doing this. 25. It's a little time consuming, but at the end, you will have a beautiful notebook that you can use and reference. I actually had some kids who used it this year while they were in 4th grade, because we did make it in 3rd grade. Didn't have a chance with my class this year with everything going on. Okay, 30, 31, we're almost there. 32, 33, 34, and you can make sure you have glue. You're going to need glue. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need markers or crayons, depending on what you like to color with. I like using colored pencils and markers. Crayons are fine, though. Make sure you have a pencil. And the reason we're going to do this is going to help us out when we're reading, when we're doing math, because we're going to learn all our prefixes, our suffixes, and our Latin and Greek roots. And since we'll be reading about Greek mythology, we're going to be learning a lot of them through our summer. And if you were in my class, you remember that every time we read a word, I would say, oh, let's look at the front of the word and see what it might mean. For example, we know equal, we know equivalent, we know equilibrium. They all have equi in the front. Well, they all mean equal. You have astronaut, astronomy, astro meaning stars, not meaning nautical or navigation. So knowing those pieces of words help you become a better speller and a better reader. Helps you decipher when you're trying to figure out what words mean. For those of you who were part of the spelling bee last year or will want to be part of the spelling bee this year, knowing those things actually helps you, 1, spell it, and 2, understand what it might mean. It's a nice thing to know. I'm almost done here. I'm at 50, 51, okay, 52, 53, oh, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, okay, 59, ooh, close, 60, only a couple more, 61, 62, 63, 64, and the final one, 65. And you're going to notice that you have a couple pages at the end. I'm going to show you what to do with those pages, okay? At the end. So then it says we're going to glue our master list to the front of our notebook. And that would be this inside cover that we're talking about here. That's where I like to glue them so that I know, you know, where everything is. So if you printed out your stuff like I told you to, you have all your stuff here, I actually gave you a master list. Now, what I do with the master list is I cut it out. I don't leave it like this because it's just way too much paper. And you'll notice that there's two, just like that. Well, what I want you actually to do is I want you just to cut out this one, okay? For now, you can keep the other one for later. And I just kind of cut it out. Like that. And I go down. And you know my rule of the glue stick. Don't use too much of it, but use enough, okay? So here's my glue stick. Make sure you have a couple of these because we're going to need them because we are going to be gluing quite a bit during the summer, the next 6 weeks. Okay. And you know I put glue all the way around the edges. Not so much that it, you know, you can see all the color, but enough that you can see that I did put some glue on it. And then I glue it to my inside cover. And I make sure that I press it down real good. And there it is. Okay. So make sure you've done that. Then we're going to go on to our next part. Make sure that you keep everything nice and organized. And you have these. And you have roots. You have suffix. And you have prefix. And you're going to have to color them. Then you're going to cut them out. Okay. So make sure you've colored them. If you haven't colored them, that's fine. So if you look on my instructions again, how to set up your, it says choose which version of the master list. I already gave you which version. And then we're going to do the pages. Well, the thing is that each page goes to each suffix, prefix, and root goes to a specific page. So you have to make sure that you put it on that page. And if you keep on going down, you see it says the next two pages explicitly show how to create and glue your tabs. And I sent that to you. So it says the root page is the page right before page 1, the third page in the notebook. So let's go to our notebook. And remember that we had skipped the first 3 pages. So 1, 2, on this third page, the third page, the one that has no number, right before you go to your number 1, right there. Okay, so we're on this page. This is where it's going to be glued. Now, if you've colored it, we're doing, this is for the roots page. You've colored it, you've made it absolutely beautiful, whatever you want to use, your colored pencils. You can always pause the video while you color it. But when you go to cut it, watch how I cut it. I went around the outside. I went around the outside. Please don't cut until you see how I do it. I went around the outside. I went around the outside again. Just like that. Now here's the part where most of the boys and girls make a mistake, and you really don't want to have to print this up again. See right here? And right here? Watch. I go down, and I stop right where that meets right there. Then I go down the next aisle, and I do the same thing, and I stop right where it meets right there. Then on that little line right here, I'm going to cut up just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing here, which is very small. So I cut 1, cut 2, and cut up. Please, if you have to watch it again, rewind. So that it looks like this. You see? That's there. It says roots because that's your tab. That's what's going to be hanging out the outside of your book. Now we're going to go back to that third page, the one that has nothing on it, because page 1 is right behind it. And we're going to glue this here. Now, I want you to watch how I glue it before you go and try gluing. Flip it over to the back where there's nothing. Use my beautiful glue stick. And I'm going to go down, 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 across. I make an X. I close my glue stick. Now watch. I'm going to glue this right here to the edge. Let me repeat that. The edge. So that roots, with the upside down roots, is hanging off the side. And then I, put it down. Then I'm going to flip my page. And now you have this on the back with that on the top kind of dangling. Now, I'm going to put glue on this up here and on this right here. So I take my glue stick, my glue. Okay. Now watch what I do. I don't just flatten it down. I take this part here, and that's what's going to touch the edge. So that roots part kind of does that, and now I have a tab for roots. Okay, and we're going to do that with each and every one of the interactive notebook pages. So now we have to go to page 40. And when you go to page 40, you're going to do the same thing. And here's here's my roots. Here's my page 40, my prefix. And I did the same thing. And of course, this one I made beautiful. You know, I colored it in, my pretty markers, and I glued and I cut exactly how I did the other one so that my tab stays on the top. Okay, there's my tab. I can see it from both ends, prefix, if my book doesn't matter which way it's facing. And I do the same thing. And this is going to be, like I said, on page 40. Then once you're done with that one, you're going to do suffix, which would be on page 60. And again, you see I made it pretty. And there's my tab. You can see it in the back. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Once you do this, and you're done with this, then we're going to go to the back of the book. And you're going to notice that when you finished page 65, okay, there's page 64, page 65, you have, there it is, page 65. You have all these pages in the back. Well, we're going to make pockets. And those of you who remember, I did this in class. I'm going to make some pockets just like this, okay? So I'm going to show you how to make those pockets. So here's my notebook, my new one. And I'm going to go all the way to the back. And here's my extra pages in the back. So what I do is I take these two pages. Two pages. And I'm going to fold them lift, just like that. And then I'm going to take this end here. And I'm going to line it up with the seam of the book like that. Just like that. Make it nice and flat. Then I'm going to take my glue stick, and I'm going to put a little glue on the edge here, and on this page, kind of like that, okay, and then I'm going to fold that right over, following that same line with me. Fold it right over, okay, and then you're going to do that with the top one so that it glues onto the bottom one, same thing, kind of put glue here, and right over that same page. There you go. Now that we've done that, now that we have this part right here, this is where the pocket comes in. So you see how the notebook has these little lines on it on the bottom? I'm going to put glue just on that little line right there on the bottom. Okay, just all the way across. Then I'm going to put a little glue right here like this. And then I'm going to fold this right over, and I'm going to close my hand over it. And that's pocket number one. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it just like that. There's my pocket, okay? Now I'm going to close my book. And if you did this correctly, what you have is 3 beautiful tabs. And you have a pocket to store your papers in if you're not done. So now we're going to actually work on one of these. I wanted to show you what it's going to look like once you put it in your book. So I actually gave them to you in order, and the first one is Aster. And Aster, A-S-T-R, means star. And words that go with aster, that have that root aster, are astronomical, asteroid, astronaut, remember I told you star, okay, astronomer, star again, and asterisk. Okay, so these are all things that have that root of star in them. And what we're going to do, so you got this page, it actually shows you how you're going to put it onto your notebook, and it has the definitions that you're going to write right under these words right here, just like they did here. Okay, and that's going to be our first one. Okay, so aster, I'm going to go to my table of content, and you're going to notice that aster is under roots right there, aster. So I know that it's going to go under roots, and it's going to be my first one under roots. My first one under roots, and I want to show you because I've actually done most of these. Let me see if I can find aster for you. You guys can see it finished. You know, you color it before you put it in, please. Don't try to put it in beforehand. So here's mine, and it's nice and colored. Okay, and you see that I did use markers. Colored pencil probably be better. Then under each one of these is the definition. So there it is. It tells you it's a noun, and it's all the information, the same exact information that is on that page that I sent you. So it's pretty easy, okay? And it should be fun, and I really hope that you complete these before we meet next week, okay? So you have aster is the first one. That should be page 1 of the roots section. And on your table of contents, you could actually write number 1 because it'll be on the first page. Then it's bene or bon, which means good or well. Then you have bio, of course, meaning life. And crone, which you'll notice in the book, there's lots of chrono being mentioned. So crone is next, and then the last one is cred, or credulous, credential, credible, creditor. Okay, and everything is going to be going in your book. I'll show you what are some of the other ones. Here's bio. Here's my butterfly. Again, I colored it, and right under it, all the definitions. Okay. And I only did definitions on one side. Then we have cred. Here's cred, and here are the credit cards. You take the credit cards out, and then behind each credit card is the word and what part of speech it is. So this is an adjective. Okay, I put it back into my little wallet. And let's see. I haven't done all of them with you. What was the other one that you guys are doing? Not that one. Not that one. Crone. Here's time. So I colored it, and then under it, there are the definitions, and I made them kind of sideways. Okay? So take your time. This will come in handy, like I said, in 4th grade. And I hope this video helps you. If it doesn't, and you need me to help you, walk you through it, please just send me an email or message me. Have your parents message me through Blooms, and I will meet with you on Zoom, and I will work with you to get your notebook the way you want it, okay? Alrighty, I can't wait to see you guys on the 30th.